Yeah, you all might be wondering where we are and what I'm doing in this setting. Well, long story. Okay, so you all remember my class ditching neighbors? Long nose guy and weird little girl with the eye patch? Well, it turns out they aren't registered students at the school we go to, so my teacher sent me to the bathroom we usually hide in to kick them out. However, when I got to the bathroom, neither of them were there. I looked around a bit and saw this television that was on for whatever reason, just chilling there. And on the screen was a video of someone I thought I knew, so when I went to take a closer look, I may or may not have gotten sucked in, which is why I'm here now. Why, you're here? Fuck if I know. What's this place? An alternate reality, obviously. I can tell because I found a video by Keyblade Master that actually isn't that good, which is a pretty bad sign. I mean, a bad Keyblade Master video? Never heard of one. What do you mean I sound biased and that anyone can make a bad video? I'll have you know that Keyblade Master is a big name commentator, so that means every video he's made is quality. If not, we just kill him. And Key knows better than not to get himself killed. Okay, I actually have no idea where we are, but hey, free material.
Now I face out, I hold out, I reach out to the truth of my life, seeking peace of the whole moment to now break away. Oh, God, let me out, can you let me out? Can you set me free from this that in the world safe? In the last beat in the soul.
So you might all be wondering what exactly we're doing on today's edition of Lunatic the Game complains about someone else's video for a few minutes. Well, I'm complaining about someone else's video for a few minutes, and that person that I'm covering happens to be one Keyblade Master, and his tribe was Ceradust, and his daughter, yes, daughter, Morgan, on Arkham Knight Rider. Now, Key explained this in the video itself, but the video we're covering had been in the works for over a year, and I know that had to have meant since around April or March 2018, since I recall he first showed off the script at that time. And looking at the video version released 21 months later, boy, does it show. I mean, yeah, it's definitely been updated since it references things from 2019, but in some areas, does it really feel like I've been teleported back into 2018? I mean, gee, the only thing we're missing is the crippling depression. Whatever, so the context goes like this. In 2018, Arkham Knight Rider did a video on a channel named First Kids, and they do reviews on movies, I think. Keyblade Master, Ceradust, and a character named Morgan did a commentary on that together, and I thought it was pretty mess, so we're covering it now. That's all you need to know, so let's begin.
That man said you ain't even seen half of my dick. Bro, you need to go home.
Well, hello there, child. Would you care to join me behind this pedo bus?
Huh, didn't realize Ceradust was into those things. Well, hey, more material to add to my 95 theses on why Ceradust should be cancelled.
No thanks. I don't want to remember that the Rancy community ever existed, especially after the whole Spocter situation.
I don't even like dragon types. I've always been more of a fire type guy because I love the Score Bunny. He is my child, and if anything were to happen to them, I would murder the entire reaction community and then myself.
Okay, so this is the only time I'll really rag on the comedy in this video because, I mean, humor is subjective, but there still can be problems with how humor is set up and played. Case in point, this joke. Morgan is talking about how she doesn't want to remember this thing, especially after the whole Spocker drama from April 2018, and then Ceradust shows up talking about Pokemon fire types. Huh. I initially thought that maybe this joke was a reference to Spocter's avatar, but in hindsight he's a lizard, and I don't think anyone would look at this and automatically think, ah yes, Ceradust is calling Spocter a fire type because he misunderstands the situation. Everything is just way too disconnected, honestly. In fact, a lot of the humor in this video is arguably that. Of course, not all, but just some every now and then. You know, I can't believe the fact that I've been using Vegas since September 2018, and I've never done a post point since then. That's kind of weird, but I wanted to clarify a few things. It could be said that Spocter's avatar resembles a Salazzle, which is a fire poison type Pokemon, and that is absolutely true. In fact, I believe this is where Ceradust was trying to go with the joke. But to clarify why that didn't work, it's because the joke goes from point A directly to point C without any in between. We go from Spocter directly to fire type Pokemon, which on paper sounds fine, but knowing that we are on the subject of Pokemon in this video, on top of the fact that not everyone knows that Spocter's avatar looks like a closeted Pokemon, I feel like the joke is set up in a way where the audience is bound to lose Ceradust and Morgan. And this wouldn't have been hard to fix. A little visual gag would have fixed this joke up, like maybe Salazzle flying on screen with maybe an image of Spocter being shown sometime around, or before, so the audience would think, ah, Spocter is a Pokemon. No wonder Pendragon hates him so much. Or, oh, that's also why Ceradust is now suddenly playing loud Naruto Shippuden music over his tired about fire-type Pokemon, since Salazzle is a fire type, and Spoctor's avatar looks like Salazzle. Keep these elements in mind next time you script or edit the video. Point A to point B to point C is how you want to do a joke, and if you fail that aspect in scripting, you can easily rebound yourself through editing, don't forget. Also, it's like 8:53 a.m. I really should be in bed right now.
That man said you ain't even seen half of my dick. Bro, you need to go home.
Today I'll be looking at a couple of the videos as I feel like Kids First is one of the worst channels on YouTube. But, of course, I've learned that subjectivity has led to my downfall. So today I'll be looking at reviews of movies that I do agree with. So, let's begin.
It's your first point, and I'm already contemplating death. Okay, so while doing a video on something you agree with isn't inherently a bad thing, since I've done this as well in my Fire for Victory commentary, however, since the point of a commentary is to point out flaws with a video, would it not be more beneficial to find something you disagree with, since there are likely to be more flaws found in a video than a video you do agree with?
I don't know about you guys, but Ceradust wanting to die over the smallest things is like the biggest mood in history. But yeah, all wanting to die moods aside, flat out the gates, Ceradust has hit us with the single worst point in recent commentary community history. Sarah, you pull out this point that it would be more beneficial to hit videos you don't agree with. If I could start with something small, you start this interjection by saying that covering videos isn't inherently an issue. Saying that something isn't inherently an issue would imply that it's okay in concept but bad in execution. This becomes weird because you really just said covering videos you agree with is outright not as good as covering videos you don't agree with. If that's the case, then the concept is flawed too, and so using that line doesn't really work. Now, what makes this whole interjection really dumb is the fact that not only does this feel like a big nitpick, it's also a nitpick that is completely wrong. The idea that a video we would disagree with will have much more to offer in terms of material. This only works in theory actually, and there are too many reasons why this isn't actually the case. For one example, say I don't like Persona 5, and I watched a video about why Persona 5 is bad. Now, I may dislike this video because I disagree with the issues they find in the game, such as gameplay mechanics they misunderstand, or story issues they nitpicked instead of looking at the actual issues it presented in itself. Or say maybe I'm watching a video I disagree with where the points are okay, but the production is absolute garbage. There are too many scenarios to pick out where honestly, I can agree with the video's overall point, but still find enough to have more issues than a video I disagree with. Reminder, you can be in a scenario where there's a video dislike, but not have too much to say on it. On top of that, this doesn't even matter in the first place. Arkham literally explained the reason he's hitting a video he agrees with, because he's afraid subjectivity will lead to his downfall. So yes, while hitting a video he disagrees with may lead to a longer video or more problems, he's doing this for a reason because he doesn't want the video to be bad. This is like the biggest brawl moment in the history of commentaries. This is like the first major point. Damn.
It wasn't the fact that you were using subjectivity alone that led to your downfall. It was the fact that you were trying to use subjectivity to counter someone else's subjectivity.
So yes, by that logic, subjectivity did in fact lead to his downfall.
I'll start off with the first one, that being on Raven, whatever the hell her last name is, it's so hard to pronounce. We'll be looking at a review of Transformers Dark of the Moon. Let's just see how, well, not so good it is, shall we?
Father, where is the link? It's not anywhere in the description.
Well, lucky me. I just happened to find the video after hours of extensive searching. So let's look.
Father, why is he covering a video from 2011?
I don't know, Morgan. Maybe he likes grave digging like good old camcorder guy.
So you see, there's this little bit of stuff that I skipped over from back when the video began. So when this video starts, Key explains that the video they're covering is over a year old, and that's where our problems begin. Now to be fair, in Key's case, this video began production when the video was still new, and if we left it at that, I think Key's point here could go off completely scot-free. Just remember, I stopped us here, so just know I probably found something that completely derails him. See, Key's reasoning for sticking to the video in the intro disclaimer is as stated.
I still believe the criticisms made here can benefit the user in question as well as others who want to be commentators.
Now replace the word commentator with reviewer, and boy oh boy, Key, what have you just done? Good to know, the inside of this TV has a phone connection. Yes? Key could have meant grave digging because a video from 2011 could imply that he had to dig far and hard to get it? Wait, who is this? Well, yeah, to get back to the video, this all has to do with the wording, and by God, Key, you couldn't have picked the worst wording if Kanzaki's nudes depended on it. See, grave digging implies a not good, you see, that's why you did that jab at Ceradust, right? To poke fun at him. But the word really bites you in the ass by mistake. You should have held that snake away from your body, just a heads up.
But keyboard, that's a hypocrispy fallacy.
But Sarah, hypocrisy is the reason why we're here in the first place.
Never watch lunatic CC anime. Thanks, Key.
Jeez, you know what video's based on something dated when the people in the video reference something you honest to God forgot about. Though I mean, if Ceradust and Key are watching this, hey, you're watching the Lunatic the Game storyline, which could be considered a storyline, so ha ha ha, I win.
They tryna be, yeah, they tryna be. She wanted me cutty. That bitch is a
non-stop thrill ride. This action-packed film is a fantastic addition in the Transformers series. The cinematography and special effects are absolutely breathtaking in 3D. There is so much action in this film, and the sound effects are so intense that it keeps you on the edge of your seat throughout the entire movie. My favorite character is Bumblebee because he is so sweet and he is always there to catch Sam when he falls. Literally.
Well, except when Bumblebee was about to be killed in a firing squad, and about him, that point about him being sweet, do you call ripping out Ravage's spine sweet and innocent? Just saying, I mean, compared to the rest of the Autobots, he is the sweeter one, but not completely innocent. Just saying that.
Claims Bumblebee isn't sweet, then states that Bumblebee is the sweetest of the team. Brilliant! Best wording, 10 out of 10 Polygon.
Ceradust, don't make me hop through the screen and punch your confusingly designed OC this instant. But that being said, this isn't poor wording. Actually, shouldn't the phrase you're looking for be nice contradiction? But now I think I'm just nitpicking. That being said, onto my actual point, just because someone is the sweetest between two or more people doesn't mean they're automatically a sweet person. At least the sweet that Arkham's target implied based on the way she worded what she said. I mean, by your logic, Hitler is actually a sweet person because, yeah, I mean, he killed 6 million Jewish people, but hey, I mean, he isn't Joseph Stalin, who killed over 9 million of his own people. Yeah, extreme example, what can I say? I played Dragon Quest XI with the fucking MIDI soundtrack on. I think I'm pretty edgy if I say so myself. Yeah, like Bumblebee, Hitler's the sweetest between him, or in Bumblebee's case, a group, but at this point, at what cost, honestly? Though, that being said, Arkham, there's context involved you could be missing here. A scene of someone pulling out someone's back isn't the be-all, end-all, despite the implications I know. I mean, come on, Goat from Hunter x Hunter can be described as innocent and pure based on his playful and oblivious nature that he displays during the series, but he also did this to a person out of pure rage. When otherwise, he's a good boy. Huh? Morgan covers this point for me? Well, the viewer saw me cover it first, so haha, point goes to Lunatic. Oh, also Arkham, she never said Bumblebee was completely innocent, just sweet, so your point is a little flawed as well, just so you know.
They tryna be, yeah, they tryna be. She wanted me cutty. That bitch is a.
Though, admittingly, she could have probably expanded more on her fonts, as the whole review felt very quickly rushed, and she glanced over a lot of areas. She probably should have explained more why the special effects are great, explained more about the acting. She probably could have discussed more about the plot and given us a basic summary, rather than just saying Shia LaBeouf was great, Bumblebee was sweet, there was more death in the movie, the Decepticons bleed, and the effects and cinematography were great. Just saying.
Oh my god, he's actually talking about the review!
I can't believe it.
Wait, was he not before? Then what was Arkham talking about before? Okay then.
Okay, in all seriousness, do they have to? I mean, given a part in the second video you covered, they state that Suicide Squad will be in theaters soon and you should go see it, implying there's something akin to a recommendation rather than a super in-depth analysis video. Also, going off script a bit, like, if you meant the person who are writing their script should go super in-depth, again, refer to my earlier reasoning. Also, you're expecting kids to be super deep. Clearly, someone wasn't around during the Dark EX and Deku situations.
Why do terms like gender fluid exist when they're not a thing? Is the mother you actual idiot.
I mean, say this was a full review and not a formal recommendation as you suggested, Ceradust, they should still be out here giving us more than a few basic ideas on why they like the movie. I don't know what they're doing up in Canada, but I know in America, we were taught how to go in depth with our thoughts on stuff. Also, you know what script is fucking old in the reference? That old chain. Jeez, would anybody even get that reference? I mean, the intro script was in a reference to a video that was deleted, but hey, at least that was from 10 months before the video came out.
And with that, we're done with part 1.
What?
Yeah, he decided to make this video a two-parter for some reason. Even though aside from the same target, the videos don't tie into one another in any way.
Isn't that more than enough of a reason though? I mean, if he's covering the same target, they tie into each other, just not in too big of a way. Key, where were you when I covered Megatron DBZ's videos on Joni Smith and then his rant on Dragon Ball Super in the same video? Oh jeez, that was over 2 years ago, what the fuck?
But now let's get into the other review. The review that kind of made me a little, my interest in said topic, that being first, peaked. So for those who don't know, when Suicide Squad came out, Kids First decided to release a interview with the cast. Except it wasn't really an interview. It was the beginning, like first 59 seconds of one of the reviews for it.
This is relevant how exactly? Anyways, like if you want to talk about Kid's first Suicide Squad interview, then do a commentary, or a one-shot in that case, on that video, instead of arbitrarily bringing it up here where it serves no purpose.
Okay, so correct me if I'm mistaken here, but Morgan, you're trying to convince Arkham that it'd somehow be better of him if he just up and cut him exclaiming that the Kid's first interview was actually just the first minute of their review. I don't see how taking this out and making it its own video makes the situation any better, honestly. It works as a little side note as it adds to the overall picture Arkham is trying to paint, which is that Kids First really doesn't know what they're doing. Having it in its own video would really, at the end of the day, be much randomer, if you ask me.
Nice going at their Kids First. This honestly showed me that they have no really quality control when it comes to this, and they just kind of spam their videos out in multitudes. In other words, Kids First is the review equivalent to WatchMojo.com.
Okay, so let me get this straight. WatchMojo, a site who uses their polls to decide the listing of their countdowns, is comparable to a web review series done by kids. You are a mystery I don't know if I want to unravel.
Really? Because I mean, unraveling it wasn't that hard. All I had to do was reread my essay on why Ceradust should be cancelled, and BAM! I figured it out pretty quickly. So anyways, I have the foresight to say that the rest of the video is pretty good with some points here and there that I don't have the heart to cover anyways. To get to my final thoughts, let me put down my 95 reasons why Ceradust needs to be cancelled. 1. He's ugly. 2. He's Canadian. 3. He suggested Morgan play Fortnite with him. 4. Reason 1 again. 5. Reason 2 again. 6. Reason 3 again. 7. Repeat these until we hit 95. No, in hindsight, this place really is a sight for sore eyes. How do I get out of here? Miss Clerval, what are you doing here in this shadow world? Huh? Okay. Whoa!
Can't get my mind out of those memories. Now time to tell them don't take my dream. Still music keeps on tuning me from the worlds that hurt my soul, removing that